Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have two articles here, one coming from Sputnik, the other one coming from Russia Today, so from the bad guys. But hey, they give us information that these guys don't. And to assume that these guys are always lying, it's the same as assuming the other side is always lying, which they lie, but not always. Anyway, so what happens here? As you know, in Kosovo, there were some and then the Americans told Kurti, the Prime Minister of Kosovo, to take his guys out of northern Kosovo. Kurti showed the middle finger to the Americans, especially to Mr. Blinken, Secretary of State, at which the Americans surprisingly kicked them out of the NATO military drill in the Balkans that I think is taking place right now, which the Kosovo guys did not give up. Let's put it this way. And that's one. Kurti called Blinken ignorant at one point, but who cares, right? He's still over there, no problem. But the Russians said, well, something needs to be done over there, very serious, not like half measures. I don't know exactly what they meant, but that's all in an article that I will make a video as soon as I get another article to put it back to back and make it with more flavor, let's put it this way. But now the Americans are switching their attention from their little minions over there towards the Serbs. And they tell the Serbs to take their military from the border of Kosovo. And I have another article where I have the president of Serbia, Vucic, Aleksandar Vucic, who accuses Kurti, the prime minister or president, whatever he is, of prime minister. I think he's prime minister because they have a woman president, Kosovo. So the prime minister of Kosovo, Kurti, says that Kurti is itching for war. It's not only he who is itching for war. There's many big interests over there that I think they're thinking about that. But what can you do? I think one option is probably to get the Serbs' hearts out of their chest, because otherwise, what are you going to do with the Serbs? Anyway, the Serbs are not weasels. No, nevertheless, let's go to this first article coming from Sputnik, and it is from today. White House urges Serbia's Vucic to withdraw military from border with Kosovo. Principal Deputy National Security Advisor John Finner. I already checked his bio. Yeah, he is as he is. In a phone call with Serbian President Aleksandar Vucic, called on Belgrade to withdraw its forces from the region bordering on Kosovo and to take steps to pacify Serbian protesters in the northern part of the contested territory. I don't think it's contested. I think it's the territory. The White House said in a release. Principal Deputy National Security Advisor, he's 46 years old. All right. Principal Deputy National Security Advisor John Finner spoke with President Aleksandar Vucic of Serbia today. Mr. Finner stressed the United States' concern about the tense situation in northern Kosovo and called for all parties to take steps aimed at de-escalating the situation, end quote, the release said on Friday. Very good. He urged the government of Serbia to withdraw its armed forces stationed near the border and to lower their state of readiness, as well as to urge protesters to remain peaceful in northern Kosovo. Finner also told Vucic that the United States expects both sides to re-engage in the EU-facilitated dialogue and to fully implement the normalization agreement reached in Brussels and Ohrid earlier this year, the release added. What do you mean normalization? Recognition of Kosovo? That's normalization for you. Anyway, so let's go to this article from Russia Today. This is from 3rd of June 2023, because that probably was published today, and today over there is 3rd of June. Kosovo leader dreams of war, Serbian president states. Ethnic Albanian police started to riot in which NATO troops were injured, said Aleksandar Vucic. Ethnic Albanian police rioted? All right, well, the West knows it was the ethnic Albanian Kosovo police that started Monday's riot in which 30 KFOR peacekeepers were hurt, but will continue supporting Pristina, Serbian President Aleksandar Vucic said on Friday, and I'm quoting, "The fight was started by the so-called Kosovo police, not NATO." End quote, Vucic told Prva TV. In a 90-minute interview. Ethnic Albanian police first seized 2 ethnic Serbs and shot another who barely survived, he claimed, while, I'm quoting, "the only pictures we saw were of injured NATO soldiers." End quote. Everyone in the West knows this was Pristina's fault, but, and I'm quoting, "Kosovo's Prime Minister Albin Kurti knows that whatever he does, the Americans, the Germans, and the English will protect the so-called independence of Kosovo," end quote, said Vucic. Monday's violence erupted at a Serbs' protest against the ethnic Albanian mayor Zvecan, installed after an election that saw single-digit turnout due to Serb boycott. Having previously said the vote was legitimate, the EU has now asked Pristina to call a new election. Despite the call for a new vote, Vucic said he was not optimistic because, and I'm quoting, "the conflict can escalate any day," end quote. The EU has asked, and I'm quoting, "both sides to start working," end quote, "on something that ethnic Albanians were supposed to implement 10 years ago," Vucic argued. And I'm quoting again, "Kurti won't stop sending special police to the Serbian majority north of Kosovo," Vucic said. And I'm quoting, "I saw a good article by an Albanian today who wrote that Kurti dreams of war. He wants to be like Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky," end quote, the Serbian president added. And I'm quoting, "All they can talk about is sanctions against Russia," end quote, Vucic said. Speaking to the Washington Post on Thursday, Kurti blamed Belgrade for inciting the, and I'm quoting, "violent mob in Kosovo." He argued that Pristina had no choice but to back the Albanian mayors, regardless of the boycott. And I'm quoting, "Who else can go in these offices?" End quote, he said. NATO took control of Kosovo in 1999 after waging, okay, we already know that one right here. Belgrade's refusal to recognize the secession had been supported by about half of the world countries, including Russia, China, and India. So, as long as you have Serbs over there, they're being in Serbia, if you know what I mean, you're gonna have problems. Unless you somehow, I don't know, suck their hearts out and put some weasel heart inside, or I don't know, take their national conscience out and throw garbage of diversity, inclusion, and equity, then you might have a chance. And having a media that and a school and some politicians giving the same garbage every day for, I don't know, 2 generations, let's say 60 years, then maybe they will succeed in having an independent, free country of Kosovo and a country of whatever, human beings. Because I don't think they will, "I'm not a Serbian anymore, I'm a human being. I'm a citizen of the world, peace." We're getting there right here. But no, these guys keep us like this. Why? So they can loot in peace. Well, what do you think is going to happen? I think is going to be a splendid little war, as Mr. Roosevelt said about the what that was the Spanish War between the United States, U.S. and Spain war. A little splendid war. I think that's what's going to be here too, but I don't think it's going to be splendid whatsoever, and I don't think it's going to be a little war whatsoever. I think it's going to be a big war. But I hope it's not. But hey, the Serbs don't understand, and the Albanians, that diversity is a strength. So they should just go together and, you know what I mean, and create a Serb-Albanian new, I don't know, nation. They tried with Czechoslovakia. Those guys were hard-headed as well. They didn't like to be together somehow. They didn't like diversity either. Then they tried with Yugoslavia. Those guys did not get it either. The Serbs, the Croats, the Montenegrins, the Albanians, all those guys did not like to be strong, I guess. They didn't like diversity. So they all decided to like that. Unbelievable, man, how these guys can fall for this garbage. And they are. Some of them are, and most of them don't care. You know what they care? Their beer, the TV game, and sometimes a blowjob or something like that. That's it. If they have that covered, they're good, man. Who do you want me to vote? Or the ones that gives me free something. All right, I'll do it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Obviously, I'm overemphasizing things. I'm overgeneralizing things. But these things are too spread around. Too around us. I meet too many like this to just say, oh, it's okay, it's just a few. I don't think it's a few. I think it's a majority. Why? By the people I meet. And I go up and down, left and right. Why should I listen to them telling me? That's what I meet. I would say proportion of 90-some% of the population that I meet. Acquaintances, people that I just meet bare and have a little conversation and try here and there. All right. Did you vote? Yeah. Okay. Good job. Yeah. Thank you very much. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.